Recently, we've seen media outlets start to realize and report on the vital importance of health clubs and how hard hit our industry has been by this crisis. And this is great news. It shows that our efforts, especially with your help, to influence policy are really starting to make a difference. Now's the time for us to double down, because we could see the next economic relief bill come out of Congress as early as next week, and certainly by the end of this month. This is our window of opportunity to make sure health clubs receive some relief. We don't know if there's going to be another bill in the fall or not at this point, and relief is desperately needed. We could see as many as 25% of health clubs in this country close by the end of this year. Now that's roughly 10,000 clubs and thousands of people's jobs at risk. Between COVID-related operating restrictions and the dramatic shift in consumer behavior, we're looking at a long recovery from this crisis. Now, here at IHRSA, we're focusing on three things in this next bill. One is expanding the SBA's Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP, getting the Restart Loan Program included in the bill, or the PHIT Act passed, and that we're looking at more of as a stimulus to try and get the industry back on its growth trajectory again. Let's take a quick moment to talk about each of these pieces. The first is the SBA Paycheck Protection Program. Now, this has helped many clubs that qualified, but for those who are still closed or those who didn't qualify, PPP really hasn't provided much assistance. Now, IHRSA lobbied for and supported the changes that Congress made last month. Two of those were reducing the amount of the funding percentage that had to go to payroll and extending the time that you had to use it. Well, these fixes have made the PPP much more flexible and helpful. It didn't solve everything, and we understand that. Now, we're pushing to make the PPP program work for the health club industry. So we're asking Congress to make three changes. The first is let's allow those previously left out to participate in the PPP through a waiver from the affiliation rule for health and fitness clubs. The second is to prioritize giving funding to businesses that can demonstrate revenue loss of 15% or more. Our industry has been particularly hard hit, and we want to make sure that the funding that Congress is providing is really being directed to those who need it the most. And further in that vein, the third thing is allowing businesses that can demonstrate a revenue loss of 20% or more to have a second chance at PPP. Again, really making sure that we're supporting those businesses that have been most hard hit and impacted by this crisis. Now, back in May, Senators Young of Indiana and Senator Bennett of Colorado introduced what's called the Restart Loan Act. Now, you should think of this as sort of like a combination of the PPP program with Main Street lending. The idea is to create a small and mid-sized business relief program that would do three things. It would offer partially forgivable loans to businesses that suffered large drops in revenue. It would increase the loan period, making it more flexible. And it would increase the available expenses for loan forgiveness. So you could get loan forgiveness for things like mortgage interest, rent and utility payments, interest on existing debt, and personal protection equipment. The Restart Loan Act would cover businesses with up to 5,000 full-time employees, as it's written right now. It's obviously much more inclusive than PPP. And that's a reason why we've been supporting it since it was introduced by Senator Young and Senator Bennett. We're going to continue to push for this to be included in the next bill, and we're working with other organizations to try and make that happen. Relief is our top priority. We understand how badly all you clubs are hurting right now, and we're trying to get you help. We're also looking to the future. Pre-COVID-19, our industry was booming, and we believe we can get back there. We think the PHIT Act can really help the industry get back on its feet and back on that growth trajectory. The PHIT Act would let Americans use pre-tax HSA and FSA dollars to pay for fitness-related expenses, like health club memberships. Now, saving 20 to 30% on fitness-related expenses could really encourage Americans to live more active lifestyles, which could lead to more people joining clubs and better retention rates. We at IHRSA are doing everything we can to call attention to the industry's plight in the media and lobby on Capitol Hill to ensure lawmakers understand our needs. But your voice matters. Visit IHRSA.org/SaveFitness and tell your senator that the industry still needs relief. If you've already sent a letter, share the campaign, or send another letter. Every communication matters. Thank you. Now's the time to act.